Sorry, talk to me. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Except Ember's not here right now, so it's just my channel for now. But I'm Allie, and this is Megan and I. So
I am here.
Anyway, she's in the back somewhere. Anyway, so today I am making a video talking about how I kind of met JO1. Kind of. I actually did meet JO1. I met them once, and then I kind of met them again a second time, but it's a little bit more complicated than that. Happy New Year to everyone who is watching. I'll try and say that in Japanese now. That is Akemashite omedetou. So before I get into the stories, I kind of wanted to introduce myself a little bit because I haven't really done that here, I guess. I mean, I know a lot of you know me from Twitter and stuff, but like for the people who are not following me on Twitter, which you can follow here, by the way, you don't really know who I am. So I'll do a little quick introduction and then I'll get into the stories. So my name is Allie. I am 20 years old. I live in the United States. I go to university. I study game design, but it doesn't really have to do with JO1. I've been a fan of JO1 since February 2020. So it's almost been 1 year. We're getting there. My favorite member is Keigo, as you maybe can't tell. Yeah, hello. And yeah, this is the story of how I met JO1 Twice. So basically, oh, you know what? Let me try to do that introduction in Japanese. Ready? Because I'm studying Japanese at my university. I kind of forgot a little bit already because I'm on winter break and I had it for fall semester, but let's see if I can do it. Ready? Hajimemashite, watashi wa Aria desu, 19歳です。アメリカ人です。私のJO1 メンバーが No, I said that wrong. 私の一番好きな JO1 メンバーがケイゴくんです。JO1 大好きです。That's kind of, I mean, whatever. Anyway, yeah, so let's continue. So basically, let's just jump right in. So I met JO1 the first time in October of 2020. So 10月JO1に会いました。Yes. We basically, I'll tell a little story time. You know, I have my little boba, so this can kind of be a little story time. Oh, that just got everywhere. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut to the chase. I don't know how long I want this video to be. Probably not that long. You guys probably don't care that much, but I met JO1 at fall 2020 KCON. So I had ended up winning a contest to have a Zoom call with them. So basically there was like this whole, you know, I mean, I'm assuming you guys know what KCON is. It's the Mnet like Korean music festival, but JO1 were invited to go even though they were Japanese. And if you pay, you're able to see it and like attend and watch the live streams and enter contests and stuff. So I had paid to watch, yeah. And JO1 had a sort of surprise raffle to be entered for a chance to meet them. And then it was at 3 a.m. that they were going to announce the winners of, I don't remember what day exactly, but it was gonna be at 3 a.m. my time because I'm in Eastern Standard Time, which is a really awful time to be in when you're a fan of people who are in Japanese time zones. Oh my god, it's really awful. There's a 14-hour difference. It's pretty terrible. I'm always up in the morning because of JO1. But anyway, so I wasn't planning on waking up at 3 a.m. to see if I had won or not. That night I was just gonna say, I'm going to sleep and I'll see it in the morning when I wake up. Like I check my email first thing in the morning because I'm a student and like I had a job and stuff, so I check my email pretty regularly. So I said I'll see it whenever I wake up. And then I didn't end up doing that, not on purpose. I am just a very anxious person, and when I'm anticipating something, I will wake up every hour on the hour until that thing happens. So all night I was tossing and turning, and I literally dreamed of winning it before I got the email. Like I had woken up at like 2:15 or something from a dream saying that I had won it, and I thought it was real life, and then it wasn't, and I was like, well, rip. And then I went back to sleep. But anyway, I was tossing and turning all night. I kept waking up. I was super nervous. I wanted to win so bad. And then 3 o'clock, I wake up exactly 2:57 a.m. And I'm like, oh my god, the emails are about to come out, so let me just like wait and see. And then like 2 seconds later at exactly 3 a.m., I get the email. And it basically just said, it's like, I didn't even have to open the email to know that I had won kind of thing. Like I could see it in the notification bar because I was on my phone and the little bar popped up that I have an email and I saw it. And it was like Jo1 KCON Zoom winners announcement or something. And I was just like, and I kind of just like froze. And then I opened the email and I like fully read it just because I wanted to make sure that it wasn't me. I mean, I kind of already knew, but I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't a rejection email. But I think at the time I had known that they weren't sending rejection emails. It was sort of like, if you got an email, that means you won. If you didn't win, you weren't getting any email. There was like no denial or anything. It was just, you get the email or you don't. So I opened it and I took a screenshot and I just went to Twitter immediately. A lot of people who are watching this video probably were up at the same time as me waiting to see if they won. So you guys already know how badly I freaked out. But yeah, I saw it and I couldn't believe it. It said you were a winner of your meeting Jo1. And I lost my mind. I started crying so bad. I'm a very easy crier. God, the amount of sobbing that I did, it was tears falling down my face. I was like snot pouring everywhere. I couldn't believe that I had won. I tweeted it. I said, guys, I won. Everyone was congratulating me and it didn't feel real. Like even a little bit. I couldn't believe it. So I'm just sitting here crying for like an hour. Like I think I cried until like 5 a.m. before going back to sleep because I just couldn't fall asleep again. So yeah, that's kind of that process. I can't really give like tips on how to win that. Like that was just random luck of the draw kind of thing. I mean, enter everything you guys can enter basically is my advice on that. But yeah. So then I get to the call. It's like 2 days after I win. It's like not even that long after. It's like I had 3 days to prepare what I wanted to say to Jo1. I didn't know how much time I had either, which kind of really sucked. They didn't necessarily say. But I had to like sign up extra consent forms and like say that I would publish the video call or like, and I had to confirm that it was really me winning it and not like a random person entering on my behalf and like all that stuff. Turns out I met other people who won too. So there was like some of my friends had won as well. So we were all kind of doing the process together. But yeah, I won that. And then the call comes and it was a very long call. So again, I'm in Eastern Standard Time. So that is 14 hours. At the time it was 13 hours. No, 13 or 14 hours. I don't really remember. It depends on daylight saving times or not. I think it was 14 hours or 13 hours behind Japan time. So the call for me started, I believe at 3 a.m. for me or 2 a.m. It was like, I woke up at 2 a.m. to start getting ready. And I joined the waiting room at 3 a.m. because they sent you a passcode like 30 minutes before the waiting room opened, which they actually didn't end up doing, which freaked all of us out. They were like, we'll send you a passcode to join the Zoom meeting 30 minutes before the time. And then they ended up sending it 15 minutes after the time that you were supposed to join. So they're like, we'll send it at 2:30 and you can join and you have to join by 3. They sent the password at 3:15, which was horrifying. We were all so scared that we had missed it, but we didn't. But anyway, yeah, so it was the first call was kind of like with all the winners, we were all there, and then the KCON people and like this girl was speaking English, so she was able to talk to, she spoke English and Japanese, so she asked us what languages do you guys speak, and it was like mostly English, people said. There was I think 3 Japanese winners and the rest were international fans. So that was really good too, that I like. In total, I believe there were 14 winners, including me. 3 of them were Japanese and the rest was international, including me, which was great to see a lot of international fans winning. So yeah, so she said all the rules and like the schedule in English, and then she said it in Japanese for the Japanese people. And it was like, and then this is when I learned that I only had 1 minute to talk to all of them. So it wasn't like I had a one-on-one with all of them and I had 1 minute. I had 1 minute to speak to the entire group. So it was like they would be joining the Zoom call in little pairs because they couldn't all fit into the camera. Obviously, there's 11 of them. So they basically were sitting in little pairs and they would all pop up and speak to you in front of everyone else as well. Everyone was listening to your conversation. This was not private at all. And then they would mute you and then move on to the next person. So I learned that I had 1 minute to speak to 11 people that I love very deeply. So yeah, they ended up kind of being a little late, if I remember, or maybe it just, the whole call was very late, but they ended up joining the call at 4 a.m. The whole process of waiting for them and reading the rules and all that stuff took an hour. So I was very tired. It was 4 a.m. But basically they come in and they go in alphabetical order of last name for the winners to see who is speaking to JO1 like in what order. And I ended up being third, even though I shouldn't have been second. They messed up and they accidentally skipped me and went to the person after me and then went back to me. This is a very messy thing. Yeah, KCON, come on. But so I wish I could put my video. Ooh, I don't have a video. I wish I could show you guys what happened, but unfortunately I signed a thing saying that I could not, and I can't upload any pictures or anything, so not that I have any. But yeah, so I'll just kind of run through it really quickly. So they put the thing on me and it's my turn to speak to JO1. And it kind of, I was really nervous before going, and I was shaking. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Like, I'm going to speak to them. I know I had known what I had wanted to say, but again, I didn't know how much time I had until I joined the call. So it was, and once I was there, I was like, I only have 1 minute. Like, what am I going to fit in 1 minute? I want to talk to all of them. And I love all of them so much. And I wish I could have more time. You know, I was freaking out and I was scared that I was going to forget what I wanted to say and I would mess up and ruin my chance because who knows when I'm meeting them again and all that stuff. But as soon as they joined the call, all of that kind of went away, honestly. I mean, it was like, they started and they said hi to me and I said hi back, and then no, sorry, I said hi first and then they said hi, and then I panicked and I said hi again, and then they said hi again, and they kind of started laughing, but not necessarily like in a mean way, like, oh, she's so dumb she can't speak to us. It was more just like a, you know, like a little laugh, and hearing them laugh kind of loosened me up a little bit. So another worry that I had was we didn't know if there was going to be translators or not. There was a translator, but Sho was also there and he was speaking English, and surprisingly Takumi was speaking English as well, and Junki spoke a bit of English. Junki was stop Junki. Okay. They were speaking English to me. I guess they could tell that I didn't speak Japanese, but yeah, basically Sho asked me what my name was and I said, oh, it's Aaliyah, and they all screamed my name in very excitement and happiness. Then after that, it was kind of just like me being like, oh, I remember what happened. So I kind of panicked and I forgot I did blank for like a second and I forgot what I wanted to say, and I held up this and I said, Ruki, look what I have. And he got all happy. He's like, oh, I love Duffy, because, you know, he's a little Disney nerd like me. So after that, they asked me where I was from, and I said Florida. And I believe Shion and Shoya had a map in front of them, so every time someone said where they were from, they would point to it on the map and try and figure it out where it was. That was really cute. So I said I was from Florida, and Shoya was like, oh wow, Florida, that's far. I said, yep. I said little rookie thing, and then from there, then I kind of like remembered what I wanted to say, so I was like, Keigo, you're my favorite. And he got like all shy. Keigo's very not like
bashful.
Yeah, Keigo's very like bashful, and he doesn't, I mean, it's not that he doesn't appreciate it, but I could tell that when something really affects him. So I was like, Keigo, you're my favorite, and he just smiled at me, but it was like this really shy smile. I was like, oh my God, you're such a baby. But it was cute. He was like, aw. And then I said that I had made a video game for him. I mentioned earlier that I studied video game design in my university, so I sat and coded for 3 days straight to make a video game for Keigo's birthday. I'll link it down if you guys want to play it. It's a playable video game, like on your computer, on your phone. It's free. It's just a website you put it in. It's basically a dress-up game. You could dress him up. You could dress Keigo up in little outfits and like take pictures and share it. So I made that for him for his birthday. And I told him that. I held... Keigo doesn't speak English, is what I remember. Keigo doesn't speak English, so I printed out a little sign that also said this in Japanese, but I was speaking English, and I was like, Keigo, I made a video game for you, and someone translated it for him, but I also held up the sign anyway. And he was reading it, and they were all of them were very surprised to see that I made a video game. They were like, that's super cool. And I was like, yeah, you can play it here. It's a dress-up game. And then Keigo said that he would play it. A little note, Keigo was also speaking Japanese to me as well. Thankfully, I could kind of with my limited Japanese, I could figure out what he said ikimasu, so I'm assuming he meant, yeah, I'll play it. He was speaking Japanese, though. Okay, anyway, so I started speaking Japanese after I told him that I made the video game. So again, I studied Japanese in my university, and at this time I had been in the middle of studying. I didn't know too much yet, but I was able to say a little bit. So I said that I was studying Japanese. I said Nihongo Benkyuchi desu or something similar. And then I said Daisuki desu. And I didn't know, oh, that means I love you. I didn't know that, so a little note, I guess, they were all talking. So like, it was hard to hear what some of them were saying because sometimes they would overlap or the mic would pick up one person and not the other person. So I go back and remember what happened very often just because it makes me happy, but also because I'm trying to figure out what they're saying to me because it's hard. And also I don't speak full Japanese, and sometimes they would say things that I didn't know what they were saying. So I had someone remember with me, and they basically translated a little bit, and I didn't know this until literally like 2 months, not even like a month ago, so like November kind of, that after I had said that all that stuff in Japanese of like I'm studying it but I love you, Keigo, I didn't know that he had said to me that he said this in Japanese, so this is probably why I didn't pick it up, and also the mic was really hard to hear him, but he ended up saying, oh, but you already speak it so well. And just,
what?
Yes.
Why did you tell me that?
I thought I did.
I'm gonna throw this at you.
He said that.
You didn't tell Mom either.
Did I not tell you guys?
No.
So he ended up saying, you speak it so well already. And
he's flirting with you. That's flirting.
Can I speak, please? And we'll freak about this later. To know that he said that to me is a lot. I cried when I found out that he said that.
Now.
I'm crying right now. You could maybe see my eyes watering a little bit just remembering about it. But yeah, he said, you already speak it. So that was, thank you, Keigo. And then I'm trying to remember exactly what happens. I think I say I love you again, but this time in English. And he also says, I think he said, again, I asked someone to remember with me, and he says, the person told me that Keigo said, I love you more. Yeah. So, I don't want to start crying, but yeah. So then I was like, moving on. Again, a lot of them were speaking, and it's hard to remember what all of them were saying, but they were all so sweet. And I was running out of time at this point. This is all happening in 1 minute. I was running out of time. So they told me, and the KCON people literally said, please hurry up, like 1 minute is over. So I was like, I love you guys, I'm so proud of you, and like the best of luck. And they all screamed back that they love me more, and Junki was especially loud. But they were all really happy also to see me speaking Japanese, and I was learning for them. Like Sky gave me a thumbs up, and Ren was really surprised, and he was like, good job and stuff. And then I said, yeah, I love you all, bye-bye. And they were all like, bye-bye. And then Sho was like, I'll miss you, I'll see you soon. And so yeah, that's how I met them at KCON. Moving on, this is probably like the juicy stuff what you guys really wanted to hear. I met them again in December. So, 12月、J1 に会いました。That I think that's right. So this was more of, I didn't exactly meet them. I don't know what I would call it, honestly. But I'll cut to the chase again. I was on international Japanese TV. Yes, you heard me right. I was on television because of JO1. So there is a TV channel called NHK World. and it's a Japanese television show, but it is broadcasted, the world one is broadcasted across the world, hence the name. And they have a program on this channel, like a reoccurring TV show called Songs of Tokyo. And basically, Songs of Tokyo is like, they go through a lot of current popular artists in Japan and they will interview them and have them perform. And what they also do, which is where I come in, is they interview international fans of the band about the band. So they'll ask them questions and be like, how do you feel about this? How is it being an international fan? Like, why do you like them? Like general interview questions. So yeah, so this is public, like this is television. It's on their website. You can watch the full, you should watch the full episode. I think you should watch the full episode. They performed 3 songs. They had a really good interview segment. I'll put the website in the description and like where to watch it and stuff. But for me personally, this is my clip. So this was on international television here.
What did international fans think about the audition show? Here's Aaliyah from the US in a room covered in JO1 merchandise.
I think a lot of me and also just a lot of the general audience really like that like underdog success story of like going from nothing to becoming very famous. So actually one of my favorite members, Keigo, the trainer kind of like says that he's not taking this seriously and that he needs to work harder. And him being kind of called out like that kind of made him start crying and he got really emotional and he's like, I do want to be here and I am giving it my all. So that was kind of like, I kind of related to him a lot.
佐藤さんもファンの方からメッセージいただいてましたけど、
そうです。インフォメーションファンの方見てます。何の情報届けてんねや。
And that's what happened to me. So I came to find out about a contest looking for international fans to be on this show for JO1 specifically. You weren't really supposed to basically the person posted this and it was like, do not share this publicly and do not share this outside of here. So I will not say explicitly where I found it. However, it is a social media platform that has a red logo and a lot of nerds use it. Maybe you guys can figure it out from that, but I don't want to say exactly where it is because I don't want to get in trouble. I found out about it through there. And he posted, this was one of the producers of the show, kind of, or one of the writers, I guess. And he said, I'm looking for people who like JO1 and would be comfortable being potentially on television. So, yeah, I enter, hello, I'm doing YouTube. I'm finding in front of cameras, like, I don't really care. And I didn't know if I would even win this. Like, who knows how many people are entering and, like, how many winners there are and stuff. So this was a questionnaire that was, like, full of just basic information again. Like name, age, location, occupation, that stuff. And then they start asking questions, like actual questions. It's more geared toward international fans. So like I said, this is for international fans only. If you were a person living in Japan, I believe, or was a Japanese fan living in Japan, you could not enter this. This was specifically for international fans. So they would ask a lot about what it's like being an international fan. Like, how did you find out about them? What drew them? What drew you into them? Like, how does it feel to be an international fan? They actually liked to ask a lot about, like, how you feel about JO1 merging J-pop and K-pop together into one kind of, like, subgenre kind of thing. And then it was just, like, generic, like, what's your favorite song? Why do you like that song? Like, how often do you listen? That kind of stuff. So, again, I wrote essays for each answer. I was like, I want to win this. I want to be on television. About 2 hours later, I was on a vacation trip while this was happening. So I enter, right? And then I'm out somewhere and then I enter on my phone and then I go to the hotel that I was staying at and we're flipping through channels on the TV and my mom stops on this random Japanese channel and she's like, hey, Aaliyah, what's this? Because she apparently thinks that I know everything about Japan just because I sang JO1. So she heard Japanese and she asked me about it. So she's like, hey, what's this? And I said, I don't know, like just a random Japanese show. We're in a hotel in Florida, by the way. It's a very random place. And I look at the TV show and I'm watching and it's basically these people are interviewing this Japanese musician. So I'm watching and I'm like, this is like interesting. Yeah, it's cool. And then on the TV show, it brings up a bunch of international fans and it starts playing interviews of those international fans, and they were asking questions to those fans about the musician that was on. And I was like, hello, question mark? So I Googled this show that I'm watching on the TV, and it turns out it's literally the show that I applied to be on like 2 hours before. So if that wasn't a sign that I was gonna win that, I don't know what was. But I was just freaking out because I'm like, there's no way that I'm just a random hotel in Florida and they happen to have this NHK channel and I happen to be watching it an hour and a half after I just applied to be on it. That's a sign. Sorry. So I knew I was gonna win then. Anyway, a couple days later, you know, I'm wondering like if I won, because they said the deadline was by this specific date and it had already passed that date in Japan, not for American time zone, but for Japan it had already passed that. So I'm like, oh, probably I didn't win because I haven't heard anything. Not even kidding, like 10 minutes after I have that thought of it's probably nothing, I didn't win, I get an email from the guy being like, congratulations, you won, we want to learn more about you. So I was like, what the heck? No way. So again, I'm crying. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Because when I watched the TV show that day in the hotel room, I realized the musician that was featuring on that show was watching the interviews of the people on it. Yeah, I mean, I had to sign more things. I had to be like, yeah, I'm down to do this. When do you want to do it? And we scheduled it for like 4 days after the interview. And I was talking to a lot of different people. It wasn't just this one person. I ended up emailing like 3 different people. One of them was a producer of the show. So then after that, I mean, the interview came along. I wore these again because I wanted Keiko to try and remember me as the giraffe girl who made him a video game. So yeah, I mean, I did the interview, and there were, at the end of it, they were like, okay, there's no guarantee that you'll be chosen to be on the TV show. So there's a couple of winners, and we'll pick from those winners parts from their interview to be on the TV show, but not every winner will be picked to be on the TV show. So I'm like, oh, rib, I might not have a chance. Like, yeah, I'm being interviewed and stuff, but they might not feature me. Jay1 might not see me. So I'm like very sad about that. I wish there was a guaranteed, like, hello. But yeah, so this all happened very like early on. So this was the beginning of December. The show did not air until the end of December. So this was like a good 3 weeks kind of before the show would actually be on TV. And it sucked because I wanted to tell everyone, but I couldn't tell anyone because I had signed all that stuff. And the show had not, like, I'm being interviewed for this, and Jay1 have not even said that they're going to be on the show yet. Like, it was not scheduled yet. It was not made public that they were going to be on the show yet. I just knew they were going to be on it because I had won this. So I really couldn't say anything at all. But I kind of did. I was tweeting things. I'll put screenshots here and like here and here or whatever. I was being a little sneaky, being like, you guys don't know what's coming. I have a surprise for you guys. Because I wanted to talk about it, and only my closest friends knew, but I wanted to talk about it publicly, but I couldn't because I didn't want to get in trouble. But yeah, finally, after like 3 weeks, and they also weren't telling you if you were going to be on the show or not. You just had to wait until the show came out and watched it, and that's when you would find out if they had picked you or to be on the TV or not. So I was very scared. I was like, I really, really want to be on this show, but I won't know until it airs. Finally, the 21st of December comes around. This is when the show is airing. And I'm watching, and I'm freaking out. I see the TLs, you know, reacting normally to this because they don't know what's up. And they're like, wow, this is such a good show. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Because I can't say anything else. And finally, they get to the segment where they start bringing up the international fans. And then, yeah, there it was. I mean, I inserted the clip of me, and I put all the stuff. So there was me talking about Keiko on international TV, which, yeah, it was a good time. I mean, Keiko saw me. Talk Me mumbled something there. I don't know if you caught it, but I ended up sending this to the same person that I remembered the KCON video with. And he or they told me that Talk Me ended up mumbling that he remembered me. I think he said something of like, I've met this person before. So Talk Me remembered me from KCON. That's kind of crazy too. I mean, he was smiling really big, and so was Mame. Ren kind of looked Ren looked very confused, but that's okay. And then Ruki was like nodding along with what I'm saying because they had subtitles in Japanese. So I was speaking English, but they had subtitles for them. And then I get to the part where, again, I say that Keiko is my favorite member. And Keiko, again, does the very shy smile, like, oh, kind of thing. Very bashful, I guess he was, you know, it's cute. He's cute. So he got really shy about it. But yeah, I said he was my favorite. And then talking about produce, you know. It's funny because I was actually kind of upset for a little bit because I was like, I can't believe they put that clip of Keiko crying next to me. Like, the interview that I did with these people was an hour long. And out of that entire hour, I had 30 seconds of screen time on the TV show. And the 30 seconds they picked is the 30 seconds of me talking about Keiko crying, which is like the worst thing for me to view. It hurts me very much, and I always cry when he cries. And they put a clip of him crying next to me. And it's just, I don't know, it's just funny. That's just like, that's what they pick. And then, of course, Keiko's watching and like, haha, yeah, I did cry. Like, it was just
all
very...
members laughing.
And all the members were laughing at him and just, you know, it was just... It's okay, Keiko, I love you. And I meant what I said in that of, like, I do, like, relate to you a lot. And I know you do work hard and, like, you deserve to be there and whatever. I do love you, Keiko. But, yeah. And that's kind of it. I mean, I only had a little bit of time, but they did see me. I did spawn a little fandom joke now. You guys can thank me for that. When Keiko, I mean, again, it's in the clip, but the information fans was just so hilarious. I know my baby meant to say international fans, but again, lack of English. So he said information, and it's so cute because, you know, I'm a little information fan. It's my little Twitter display name. Yeah. No. So he said that to me, and now everyone uses it, but it was for me. So yeah, I don't know if Keiko remembered me. I mean, he seemed to like I said, he smiled when I said he was my favorite. The camera wasn't on him when I first appeared, so maybe he had already gotten over that and was just listening to me, but I don't know if he remembered or not. I just know that Takumi remembered me. Maybe Mame, I'm not sure, honestly. It didn't show all of their reactions to me, so I don't know, but I know Takumi did. Takumi probably reminded Keiko. I don't know. So that's kind of it. That's my story of how I met JO1 twice. I hope it happens again. My advice, if you want to do the same, honestly, just keep an eye out everywhere that you can. I don't know of any other shows that do this kind of thing where they interview international people for JO1 or like for Japanese musicians or even just fans in general. I don't know of any, so I can't recommend you and be like, watch their website, because I don't even know if JO1 will ever be on this show again, kind of thing. But all I can say really is be active in the fandom. Like, I mean, you guys know me, I have my guide thread, I welcome people, I reach out to people, I do things for JO1 for like their promo, like I promo them everywhere, and I like make these videos. Like, I'm very active in the fandom, and people know me and I know people, kind of thing. So I think if you want to make it easier to find these opportunities, you should do the same. You never know when one's gonna pop up. I didn't know that I would end up being on Japanese television, but here I am. And it's because of the fact that I know people and I'm active on all these social media sites, and I take these chances and I go for it and all that stuff. So I think I would say to do the same and just make connections with people and, like, you know, be active and be on the lookout, and don't ever lose hope that it won't happen, because again, I never have won anything in my life before JO1, and now I've won 2 things. So it's just really just keep trying, keep your hopes up, and yeah. And that's kind of it. I guess I don't really have anything else to say. I mean, I met them twice. I hope they're watching me now. I don't know. I know Sky and Mame go on YouTube a lot, and they watch jam videos of like covers and stuff, but I'm not sure if they watch like just normal JO1 videos or like reaction videos or something. Yeah, that's kind of it. That's how I met JO1 twice. I live in their minds rent-free. I can't believe it still. I still don't, it doesn't feel real that it happened not once, even once, but twice, that they saw me and I was on television. That's just crazy. I never thought I would ever be on television, yet here we are. and of all things is talking about a Japanese boy band. But yeah, I mean, it was a good time. They're very sweet and kind. They make it really easy to talk to them, and like it's a fun time to talk to them. I was nervous, like I said, and then I wasn't when I started talking to them, and it's just, I hope I can meet them again soon. Maybe that sounds a little bit selfish. Anyway, so yeah, I hope that I meet them again soon, but who knows. But I am happy with what I've already had, and I mean, I wish there was more. I can't meet them enough, you know, I've always had things to say to them, but maybe if like Lapone hit me up as like official fan ambassador, then we can work something out, because I have things to say. But yeah, that's how I met Jo1, and I hope everyone who's watching this also gets the chance to meet them, because it really is an amazing time, and they're just so sweet and kind and funny and loud. They're very loud. And yes, Jinky is as loud as he is in videos, as he is speaking to people. It's kind of pretty horrifying. But yeah. So that's it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a good time. Sorry this video was so long. I kind of ramble a lot, but I just like talking about this, obviously. Keiko, if you're watching this, I know you don't speak English, but Keiko, I love you. I will see you all in the next video, probably coming soon. What's happening right now in Jo1 world? Let's think. Nothing, they're on break. I think that's it. So I will take my leave now. I'll be on Twitter, as I always am, because I'm addicted to twitter.com and screaming about Jo1. So follow me on Twitter once again. I'll put my @ here. Other than that, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon to be notified when me and Amber upload our videos. It'll be slow kind of now because Jo1 are on break, but we'll still try and post stuff. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you all meet Jo1 one day as well. I am Allie, and this is Dice. So bye-bye. Go!
Sit up.
Go to the top, Janice. Okay, bye-bye.